What's up, guys? It's the Swingman here, back with another upload. Today what I want to do is talk about my most recent Instagram post, I should say, baseball related. I had a post made about my birthday back in 2010 when I hit 4 home runs in a doubleheader. So I just wanted to go over some of the adjustments I made and hopefully help you guys out, because I know some of you, more competitive high school guys and college guys, even if you're independent ball guys, there's scouting reports out there. If you're a decent hitter, they're going to try to do something against you, and it's always good to know those things and, try to help yourself out. I'm also going to talk about some of the adjustments I made just during this round of batting practice here. I posted a video the other day about hitting 108.5 miles an hour off the bat, but I made an adjustment during my rounds. Noticed something I was doing in my swing, and I was losing exit velocity. And I'm hitting with Eric here, and Eric, he just consistently hits balls. Now we are using a BESR bat as a throwback, but so you're gonna see the numbers get pretty high here, but he consistently hits it up there above 100 miles an hour when he's squaring it up. So but getting back to my adjustments I made back in the day, when I was at Mount Olive College, I started out very, very hot. I basically through the whole year I was pretty hot, but to start the year I did have a 35 game hit streak, and it was about 21 games into it. I was hitting like crazy video game like numbers. I was in the high 500s, leading the nation, and a majority of my hits were opposite field. That was something that my hitting coach there told me that I need to do, is hit opposite field, because I'm going to be in the middle of the lineup for a very offensive team. So he told me no one's going to want to throw me inside, so that's what I did. I bought into it. I started the season just having the approach of looking for pitches away and driving to opposite field, and I had a lot of opposite field home runs and a lot of opposite field hits. So I ran with it, and then one day I ran into these kids that were throwing me inside, and I struggled to get my hands into the pitches, and I ended up getting lucky. I had a base hit, like trickler down the third baseline, and I beat it out at first to keep my hitting streak going. And after the game, our hitting coach called me up to his office and asked if I realized what they're doing, and I said they're throwing me inside. He's like, all right, so what is your plan now? And I said, well, I got to start turning on some pitches. He said, no, now we got to start having fun, because he knew that all from the very start, inside pitches was my best pitch I could hit, but I was so committed and dedicated to hit the ball the other way. Now the scouting reports were starting to catch up with me, and they're trying to adjust. So I ended up heading to the cages the next night. We had a day off, and I met up with a couple of my buddies. I was there early, hitting off a tee and just setting up middle in, and I was trying to stay balanced, keep my head behind the ball, and get contact out in front of the plate and just drive the ball to right center field. And I just kept doing that off the tee, and then I had my my buddies that were there were taking batting practice, and I was just working on 2-0 counts and just sitting inside corner and just working on scoring up the ball hard consistently. And yeah, sure enough, I set myself up with a solid approach. I felt great with the inside pitch, just spending that time doing it the day before. And sure enough, the next day in a doubleheader against 2 different teams, they both had the same approach against me. They're like, this kid, he struggled to hit the inside pitch. We're going to work him inside. And for whatever reason, they did it the whole day. And I ended up, I hit some absolute moonshots to my pull side left-handed. I did have one right-handed home run in there. It was a first pitch slider away. I was just sitting off speed, and I drove it out to right center. But the other 3, even my very last at-bat of the doubleheader, which would have been my 10th at-bat, they started me off with a fastball low and in, and I just hit it to the moon. So it was awesome to have a plan before the game, work on it, and in the game it paid off, and ended up 7 for 10 with 4 home runs, 8 RBIs on the day, and I'd consider that to be one of my best days of baseball for sure. So it was definitely a learning experience for me, and something I carried into my professional career as far as knowing what your scouting report is and then being comfortable with adjusting to it. And it really helped me out through my professional career as well. So getting back into this particular batting practice round, when we're having fun with the BESR bats, you could see my exit velo keeps climbing round to round. And the reason why, I was collapsing a little bit on my backside in the first round. And if you didn't really see it at first, you could go back and watch. But I had a few swings where I'm kind of handcuffing myself. So now even that ball right there, I really got into that one. It was 442. I ended up hitting that one. But I was starting with my weight too far back. So what happens is if your weight's too far back to start, the only way it could go is forward. And that's what was happening. So what I did is I adjusted my weight a little bit, brought it more into the middle of my stance, so I had an opportunity to have room to load to my backside. And that rhythm break right there gave me a little extra time, a little extra room to load backwards, and I felt a lot more controlled. So my swing started to speed up, and you could see here I was trying to beat Eric's 106.5 he put up, and sure enough, this hit right here, I hit 108.5, which right now in the Buffalo area is the hardest ball hit. So I could take that crown with me, and I know Eric's gonna want to go for that 110, and so will I. So but again, this game's all about adjustments, and even to this day, I don't really play professionally. It's all for fun, but when I'm working on my swing, I could notice little things I do wrong, and I make an adjustment. And that's one thing I really like about this HitTrax machine, is you could see the instant feedback when you make an adjustment like that. My exit velo was maxing at like 102, and ended up getting up, at 108, just within a couple of rounds of making an adjustment. So all in all, I hope this video helps you guys, as far as your swing. If you're struggling, if you think guys are starting to figure you out, or you feel like you keep consistently getting out on the same pitches, make sure you go out there and you have a plan. That's a very cliche thing to say about hitting a baseball, but I'm telling you, if you have a plan at the plate, if you have an idea of how that team is trying to get you out, it's only going to help you. So I'm big, when I give my lessons, I tell hitters to stay with their strengths, but sometimes you do have to give in, and you have to understand that they're trying to get you out. If they learn what your strengths are, then they're not going to give you those pitches. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments below. You can leave them on my Instagram page also. I will be having more uploads here soon. These last couple weeks have been busy, and I'm wrapping up these few weeks through our company and my lessons, and it's going to start dying down a little bit, so I'll have more time to post some videos for you guys. So thanks for watching. Keep working hard, and remember, if you don't pimp it, it doesn't count.